as we've said, apparently they cannot find anybody to be chief of staff. Look, how long have they been talking about firing John Kelly? I mean, months and months and months. And apparently Trump was negotiating and has been talking to and assuming that Nick Ayers, the chief of staff of Mike Pence, was going to move over into this position. And it is unclear why Ayers isn't doing it. I've seen a couple of things. One, there's something to do with Greitens. He's got some tied into that scandal. The former governor of Missouri, was it? And there's also people who say, like, he wants to get out of the White House. He doesn't want to be tied to Trump because the stuff is going to come down. And he obviously can't stay and be Pence's chief of staff because Trump's going to be like, wait, what? You turn me down, but you can work for him, not for me? That's no good. So you got to take one for the team. It's a, sacrifice fly. You walk out of the building, essentially. But the Fox and Friends guys, they have another theory as to why no one who in their right mind wants to be even come like within feet of this job.
Well, these jobs they're very difficult. The president apparently works around the clock. They don't get paid a lot of money when you consider how expensive Washington, D.C. is. And then you have Nick Ayers, who says he wants to be with his family. He has triplets.
He does. 6-year-old triplets.
Young children. Wants to go back to Georgia. Put hashtag Georgia on the tweet.
Right. It does.
Yeah, he's got Georgia on his mind.
I don't know if he'd be able to keep up.
Incidentally, for some ungodly reason, this young guy, right, fairly young guy, he's managed to amass, what is it, $30 million in the course of his public service? Wow.
Mike, can I just have you chief of staff? Is that basically what's happened there?
That's basically what happened.
Just
and they
give
thought,
me yours.
I think at just at one point they realized, like, oh, this isn't going to be good for Pence and for Ayers. It's not going to be good for them. So time to leave the building. But, of course, it's because it's so expensive in D.C. I remember when these guys were going on and on about how difficult it was for people like AOC. They laughed at that notion. And I got news for you. When you go down as a congressperson, you got to maintain 2 residences. One in your home district, one in D.C. When you have $30 million, you don't have to go to Georgia. You can bring your family to D.C. when you're working full-time for the White House. So it seems a little bit. And, of course, Steve Mnuchin, I think he can afford to live in Washington. Apparently, he's turned down the president. Mick Mulvaney's already there.
Wait, Mnuchin was going to be chief of staff?
They offered it to him, apparently.
Oh.
That's what's being reported. No, I don't.
Well, I don't know if you should do that.
Little close.